A flight attendant approached the passenger. She slowly leaned down. "What do you need?" The man finished his eye drops. He asked the flight attendant for a lullaby. The attendant shifted the topic to warm towels. He joked if there were other warm services. She stood up. She whispered something in the man's ear. The man flashed a wicked smile. He was all too familiar with the flight attendant. While the attendant admired herself, she got a message from the man. It said she wouldn't change her ways. Actually, they were once classmates, so the man was colorblind. He had to wear contacts daily to see the colorful world. As a rich kid, he opened a clothing store, but it was a facade. It looked normal on the surface. But when customers wanted to try on clothes, the shop assistants at the fitting rooms were temporarily out of service. She Curtis was offered $50 off as a refund. What went on inside would shock any customer, and the woman before him was married. And she's a weather presenter for a TV station. Her husband is a famous architect. He believes his wife is one in a million, pure-hearted, unaware of how deep he's in betrayal. That night, Yan Zhen received a grand gift from her husband, a pair of rare heels. Would make her ridiculously anxious the next day, but she had energy all day. Then she playfully hugged her husband, starting to release hormones again. The next day, her 8-year-old daughter wore those high heels, wanting to show off and look bold like her mom, and asked her mom if the black heels looked good, but the shoes were clearly green. Mom quickly pretended to inform her daughter, "The color doesn't matter. Don't take them out to show off." The daughter seemed to get it. This is what Yan Zhen taught her as a child. Soon, the girl's birthday arrived. The family joyfully sang the birthday song. And the neighbor is no stranger. The girl told the teacher she was bullied at school. Then she reached out, revealing her newly burnt arm, claiming she was bullied by Jessica Park and others in class. The teacher said as long as she could walk and eat, it's not bullying. If he were beaten like this at school, that wouldn't matter, right? The teacher wanted to slap her in response, but he suddenly recalled. He rolled up his sleeves. Then he took off his pricey watch. Turning back, the girl couldn't dodge the slap. The deranged teacher chased the girl, delivering more hits. The teachers in the office couldn't intervene because Jessica Park has strong backing. As long as she speaks, there's nothing she can't handle. She became the queen bee of the school. Whenever her mood was off, she would bully those weaker than her. Unfortunately, Dong-yoon became her target. First, she had her underlings pin the girl down. Then she took a curling iron. She asked Dong-yoon to check her temp. The curling iron was already hot. She was in terrible pain. Little did they know, this mark on her arm would make those who bullied her pay a heavy price later. "Why are you bullying me? Why treat me like this?" The harsh voice made Jessica's ears ache. Then the girl was hit again. Later, she told her lackeys to hush her. And this is how they silenced her. Remember, the letters on her neck still matter. That night, she stood on the roof. She thought of jumping to end it, uncertain if it was fear or reluctance. She abandoned the thought of suicide. But what should she do now? Sitting in the snow, she felt no cold because the burn from her wounds numbed her. So she kept applying snow to herself. Perhaps she found a way to ease her pain. Then she took off all her clothes. Ignoring her image, she lay in the snow. You should know silence won't save you. The next day, bullies learned Ethan withdrew. Meanwhile, the salon mom was oblivious. A woman handed her an envelope. After seeing the cash inside, the mother nearly cried out in shock. So she urged Ethan's mother to rewrite the withdrawal explanation. A nearby teacher advised calling bullying and not adapting. She thought the mother would seek justice for her daughter. Unexpectedly, the mother took the money and ran off with her boyfriend. The landlord told Ethan her mom might be busy. They will contact you later. She's your mom after all. When Ethan saw the 2 copies of the dropout report, she knew her mom wouldn't be back from her trip. After Ethan left, they found someone else to entertain them. They used the same way to pass the time. This time, Ethan's gaze was firm. She said they have time ahead. See you again, because from today on, my dream is you. The crowd missed her point. Unbeknownst to them, went the size at death's door. Years later, they would learn that this woman is not to be trifled with. She worked at a factory, using her spare time to study. At last, her hard work got her into college. But college wasn't her main goal. It was to encounter someone at the school. After 49 days, she brought a bouquet and found her former teacher. His son quickly took it from dad. He said his dad had asthma, especially to lilies. Ethan feigned ignorance and said it was a gift. From their conversation, the father says that his son had known her for a long time. This was one reason she got to college. Her goal was to get close to his son. "You, foolish and broke. How dare you seduce my son?" The son had no idea what was wrong with his father, but he knew there was a story between Ethan and his father. He shoved his father inside. He asked Ethan about her dad. Ethan had been waiting for the question. After their interactions, she knew this person could help her seek revenge. Meanwhile, she monitored certain people's lives daily. Finally, she got her chance to teach. But her goal was this girl. The girl's mother had no idea her misfortune was about to begin. Western restaurant or Chinese cuisine, but she heard her daughter spill soup on herself. The new teacher is helping me clean up, and the new teacher said she is your good friend. When she heard her daughter mention Ethan's name, she was taken aback. Unsure, she repeated it. Little did she know after Ethan was bullied out, Ethan had been keeping an eye on her every move, even until her wedding. But she didn't appear before her. She quietly awaited the right time to act. Yan Zhen says she meant harm by getting close. Ethan expected Yan Zhen's arrival too. Of course not every step I took to get here was intentional. What can a person from the slums accomplish? I don't care if she succeeds or not. Such an arrogant person! With just a word, she could have that person expelled. She received news of her former homeroom teacher's death. Her back went cold. Could this be Ethan's doing? But Ethan just used another to do it. The son feared his father would harm his job. He filled the room with lilies. Ethan predicted, like father, like son. She quickly dealt with her first foe. Now Yan Zhen, who bullied her, was scared. If my daughter loses even a hair, you'll pay for it. Well then, let's see. After learning Ethan was near her daughter, so she approached the principal, hoping to have Ethan dismissed. The principal stated it's beyond his control. This person is here on the chairman's say. Yan Zhen aims to learn about Ethan and the chairman. But it's true Ethan has the teaching certification. Coming from a slum, how could Ethan attain such connections? Just leveraging a few tricks. She explores daily at the maid at chairman's called out to her. She had noticed since last year, Ethan digs through trash nightly. No need to deny it. Ethan thought she wanted money, but the maid said no money, no call to cops. The maid's request was quite simple. This way, she obtained chairman's secret. By gathering info and filming with Auntie, they successfully pressured chairman. The chairman had a surprising secret. This helped Ethan become a teacher smoothly. At home, Yan Zhen felt uneasy. She knew Ethan meant trouble. Hearing her daughter's voice, she anxiously approached, asking, "Has anyone bullied you at school? Did any teachers hurt you?" But her daughter reminded her, "I went to school not to be beaten up." Hearing this, the mother felt a pang of guilt. She asked her classmate Dawn for help, but the proud Dawn refused. As a result, she slapped her, and her cronies started beating up Dawn. Though her daughter is in harm now, she still can't let go of her feelings. After all, Dawn is now her daughter's teacher, so she approached Dawn. "Quit acting so righteous. What will it take for you to go?" But Dawn replied, "I'm not here for money. I just want to teach scum like you a lesson. We're all adults here. Why can't you let go of childhood matters?" Little did she know her childish ways back then created great psychological scars for Dawn. She never eats barbecue. It recalls